So, welcome, Antonella. Would you like to introduce yourself and your role as a coach and what you do in this profession to our viewers?
Hi, Suzanne. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm ICF PCC, and what I can tell you that as my role as coach, I adore coaching. I'm quite new to the professional coaching. At the moment, I work for a platform where I do a lot of coaching for leaders that need to, they want to expand their horizon. And I discovered 5 years ago during COVID this profession, and I never look back. I think the humanity that is embedded in what we do is quite unique, or to say.
Mm. And you said you love coaching, so what is it for you that really gives you that joy, or what is it that keeps you believing in coaching?
Susan, it's difficult these days to have the feeling that you bring something different. Not always good, because sometimes clients they think a lot, they can see the torment sometimes, but you are really supporting a change, an evolution. And I think this is so relevant these days. People are Everything is so changing so
Mm,
quickly. People are lost,
mm,
and having a friendly voice, having someone just to share this confusion, sometimes, and seeing that you can support them in navigating these times, it's a fantastic experience.
mm. And while we're looking back and sort of reflecting over 2025 in this fireside chat, you mentioned that you work with a platform. So I'm curious, is there a moment that stands out for you throughout the year where you've seen a meaningful connection or moment between human connection, technology, and coaching?
Look, yes, yes. I Okay, you mentioned the platform, so I can tell you this: all the platforms are uh, somehow implementing some coaching inside there. I say somehow because I do leaders, and it's one to one, so it's not yet officially implemented in my case. But of course, as you know, there are a lot of platforms they offer both all together. What I mean, human to human, and supporting with some AI. The big shift that I think happened in 2025 is the fact that we went from some individual initiative from coaches, like I take note with AI, I prompt some topics in my discussions, or anything that was coming up in the mind of the coaches, in some sort of collective effort to understand better, and the real shift, and do something together better. And the real shift has been emblematic and represented by the ICF standards. That, in my opinion, has been huge, because everyone was actually, because now with the standards much less, confused. Okay,
Mm,
can I do this? Can I do that? Can I record? Should I take note? Should I tell the client? Should I not tell? I mean, obviously, ethics, individual ethics, kick in normally, but the standards have been amazing. I mean, are amazing, because stakeholders, every stakeholders, the clients, can look at the standards the ICF produce and say, oh, okay, so that's the way.
mm,
And it took away a lot of, I would say, randomicity in the
mm,
process.
mm. To provide those guidelines, because I think when I joined earlier this year, it was clear that people were looking for that guidance, that there was a need to help navigate what was emerging near enough every week, and probably still is, but I think people are becoming a bit more grounded in their approach to AI and how they want to relate to it, really. So
Absolutely.
one of the areas that we're experimenting in, if you like, is our relationship with AI or with tools, and where does it fit within coaching? What principles guide us or you in keeping things human-centered, ethical, and inclusive? And it may be that your previous answer kind of also caters for this one, but
Look, the answer is in the question, human center, okay?
mm,
So it's not so complicated, I think. Everything is human centered, should be respectful and inclusive. And for respectful, I mean everything from consent to opt out to um, offer the human first choice in everything. So I'm not going down in all the technical details, but when you give the human the first choice, informed first choice, it becomes uh, respectful. And one point that I personally feel very strong, it's about inclusivity.
mm,
In the sense that we all know how AI started. Okay, it's a bunch of kids, let's face it, or entrepreneurs that can work on this amazing instrument, if I can call it instrument at this point. But I wonder how many 70 years old are designing, the algorithm. I don't think too many. How diverse is are the people? For diverse, I mean everything,
mm,
every kind of possible inclusivity. So one of my personal worry is that AI, that is an amazing evolution for our society, is still very much, it still has a lot of biases due to the nature of this tool. So yeah, it's a personal point that I try to. I think I'm the example of this. I'm not young, but I really make an effort in being there to represent maybe the generation that have been a little bit not listen too much, even in designing the tool
mm.
or running it.
Thank you for bringing those points up. I think one of the things that I've been working closely with Dr. Akina Finch from our DEIB team is to think about how do we solve for those things that you've highlighted as potential risks or areas of concern. How do we lean into those? And in 2026, into next year, we'll be looking for inclusive innovation. So how do we advocate for more to solve for access? So that there isn't the bias or people are left out of the conversation because they're not necessarily interacting with AI. So how do we solve for those things? That's something that I think we'll be taking forward, probably with the coalition as well as with ICF.
Thank you for doing that, Susanna. It's a point dear to me, but I'm not all part of humanity as well. As we know, the population is
Yes.
not getting younger. So,
Well, it's we're here to serve our coaches,
yeah.
but also for coaches to serve humanity and the societies that we live in. So, absolutely, it's our shared challenge. Um, and then, if you could imagine one shift that would positively shape the next chapter of coaching with AI in the mix somehow, what would that be?
What we are doing with this coalition, I tell you also why. The standard is the is a starting point for a collective effort. But standards are relevant if also they are shared by the major associations of coaching, because otherwise we could fall again in, fraction this effort. It
Mm,
would be a pity to waste this opportunity. So the way I think the AI Coalition is doing an amazing job is bringing together the major coaching associations without forgetting also the small ones, but creating the standards for everyone, literally everyone, from every stakeholder, from every coaching association to every stakeholders. And in doing this, I think it's the only way to create a common result, if you want, starting from all together, uniting the forces. And also another point that I think can be a consequence of this, it will be some sort of not another kind of another qualification, but make AI literacy part of the curriculum for all the coaches in the world, because it's like, you know, it's like to write and read a new language, okay, that we are all going to talk and speak
Mm.
and read. So let's have the same grammar and literally live together this effort. So yes, the ICF AI Coalition, together with the MCC and all the other association, AC, I think this is the main shift
Mm.
from those.
I think, we help people build technology that serves humans better if we work together, and I think we're stronger together. And part of that is an active coalition, but I also think it's that open dialogue. It's the willingness to listen to the diversity of voices, and then to solve for the things that are either slowing us down or getting in our way. So that's my hope, is that we've started those conversations and that we can build on that together. Um, yeah, I think that's definitely going to help with some of those things that you've described. Um,
It's,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's a revolutionary what you're doing, and
Well,
we all, yeah,
the profession, I mean, even though it's a large profession, it's still relatively young and relatively small. So we need all of us to uh, to help grow the profession and really think about navigating humanity towards, out of the complexity that we find ourselves in now, and into areas where we can solve for some of the bigger challenges that humans and the planet face. That would be my hope.
absolutely. I think about that. AI is these days in the life of almost everyone, even the people that are not aware about it. Okay.
Mm,
And once, as coaches, we were touching different sectors, different people. But now everyone we touch is facing this in their own
mm,
lives. So we have a common topic with every single client. As I said, maybe not consciously yet from the side of the client completely, but you know, it's the first time that in the coaching profession, almost everyone we coach is touched by this new reality.
yes,
It's global, it's universal.
I agree. Yeah, I do talk about it being ubiquitous in the way that we live and we work. It's going to be well, probably is already part of the fabric of life. And therefore, even if you don't, as a coach, wish to engage with AI right now, there will be a need for you to do it because your clients are using AI probably more in their life now. And so therefore it's having that as part of the conversation to help them, yes, get value and transform. I mean, part of that is the transformative nature of coaching. And we talk about AI as being very good at the transactional things that help liberate you as a coach do more transformation.
Absolutely.
Very good. Is there anything else that you would like to share in your reflections of 2025 or hopes for 2026?
No, just a big thank you for all of you for creating this opportunity for us to participate in this coalition. As I said, I think it's an amazing opportunity for everyone, for the people in the coalition, for the people that will enjoy our work, and special thank to you also, Susan, for keeping all together and going, and looking forward to the exciting. Results that we are going to share everyone and soon, the next
Soon.
month, year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Antonella. And thank you
Thank you,
for
Susan.
being, a support and a believer in terms of what we're trying to achieve.
Very strong believer. Thank you.
Thank you so much.